Okay, so sometime back I made a game. Okay, like 3 months ago, as you can see here, I made a game and it was alright for one of my first games. But over time, I have become better, and what has happened is that I've actually improved significantly. So, right here, as you can see, these slash effects, they're for what I was able to do at the time, it was pretty decent. But now I can do something way better. So what I've been doing is I've been completely overhauling the game, as I'm going to show you here in a second. Uh, the game, the game before is just really was really basic. The M1s weren't even fully complete, and there were many bugs and errors with the game. There are so many things wrong with the game. So what I've decided to do today is to actually overhaul the game. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it entirely. So I've already started this, as I'm going to show you here. So I have a new base plate. The game is a bit darker than it is. It has a different sky. I have a I implemented a couple of the abilities so far, but I'm not quite done yet. I've changed how the M1s works, as I'm going to show you here. So if I quickly load into the game, you can see I have different weapons. Not all of them are complete, but I'm just going to show you how different the game is off the bat from just the wooden sword. The molds are still really bad, so that's the one thing that didn't improve. My modeling is still pretty bad, but as you can see when I go to M1, they're now slash effects, so that's pretty cool. And it changes depending on the sword. For light magic, I added a light sword, but it's not going to keep this for very long. I'm going to remove and just keep the abilities. I'm going to show you what the abilities look like in a second. So this is the slash effect with light magic, with the light sword. Then the iron sword is this, and then the German blade, which is my custom weapon, is this effect. So it's just me using trails. And what I've done is I've actually added some special effects compared to the last game. So what I've done here is that when you click the party dummy, you can see it creates this little effect, and as well as plays a sound. There are only two songs in the game. One is from the parry dummy and the other one is from light magic, which I'm going to show you in a second. Uh, the other effect I can show you is the attacking effect. So as you can see, when I hit it, it creates an effect now, so that's pretty cool. This dummy is very aggressive. The first time you fight it, it'll probably destroy you. I can't even hesitate. And as you saw some kid parrying the game, so if I time it correctly, I can parry its M1s. So as you saw there, I parried its M1s. And as you can see there, when you block an attack, it's yellow. So it was supposed to be like a spark effect. I can actually make a way better spark effect, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it the way as it is now, because this by itself is already a lot of coding, and if I change that, I would have to go back and change a lot of things. So I'd rather not do that. Uh, right here, you see I have two bandits. Currently, there's a bug in the game where you can't attack. Well, you can attack two enemies at once, but what happens is that the touch event gets overloaded, and what happens is that since it's being activated so many times from all three NPCs, from these NPCs and me attacking, since it's getting overloaded, it just reaches a point where it stops detecting touch inputs altogether. Uh, so I'm going to show you the light magic now of what I've done so far. So the first skill is kind of like a Gilgamesh kind of blade. uh, it sounds so weird out loud now I think, but the Gilgamesh Gates of Babylon, where basically what happens is that a sword comes out of a portal and hits its target. So as you saw there, the portal appeared, the sword came out, and it hit. I made it so that it came out immediately, but what I'm going to do for the next ability, well, the next ability after this ability that I'm going to show you, so for the third ability, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that it stays in the portal for a little bit, and then it shoots towards where your mouse is aimed. It already shoots where your mouse is aimed right now, it's just that the way I have it coded, it goes immediately to where your mouse is located instead, rather than afterwards. So that ability is the R move, which is like, you see it right now actually. Yeah, a burst of 5 strikes in front of you, which is pretty cool. And all of these skills are parryable. as I'm gonna show you with the parry dummy. So if I do the first skill, yeah, it hits twice. The projectile is a hitbox, and then the explosion is another hitbox. So if you're skilled with it, what you can do is you can hit both and do a lot of damage. But if you aren't skilled enough to hit the actual projectile, you could just go for the AoE, and it'll get the job done almost as well. It'll do half damage with just the AoE, but if you hit both the projectile and AoE, an insane amount of damage. The R move does a ton too, as I'll show you right here. Sometimes the character gets hit twice. If it gets hit twice, you will take a massive amount of damage. I can't stress it enough how much damage you take. Like, let me try and get it. Yeah, you see that? An absolute ludicrous amount of damage. Not only that, but they take damage over time while being within the attack. So you see that? He's taking damage while just from walking in it. So I thought that was pretty cool. The next thing I have to show you is what's supposed to be the beginner boss, so that you get used to the game's mechanics. I'm gonna reset just to show you that it's meant to be like a little bit of a challenge. If you don't, it's supposed to test to see if you've really been paying attention to the parrying. If you haven't, then what's gonna happen is you just keep M1ing. See that fire attack sets you on fire. There's a ludicrous amount of damage, and if you keep attacking, you're gonna take even more, and this burn damage is just gonna get you. Yeah, and you won't defeat it. What I'm gonna do in future is I'm gonna make it so that the boss heals if you don't defeat it in one go. So, what you have to do in order to defeat this guy is you have to parry his attack, or you can dodge. That's the thing you can do as well. I don't want to limit it to just being that you parry it. So you could either parry the attack or you can dodge. So they're both valid options you can do. In this case, I parried it because parrying this boss, parrying reflects damage as you saw there. So this game is meant to be like a skill-based game where if you parry the damage correctly, you can shred bosses faster than if you were to just attack it, like with M1s. Like if you see me, I just attack it with M1s. It goes for that move a lot, and you can see it's taking a very long time. So parrying speeds it up by a lot because you're just reflecting its damage back at it. So that's all I have to really show for what has been done now, and now we can move on to the actual video. So what we're doing today is I'm going to be coding the third and fourth move of the light magic. Oh, and what I also have to do is I have to make a gameplay loop. In fact, what I'm going to tackle first is the gameplay loop, because right now as it stands there isn't really much to do. So what I'm going to do over here, just like the previous game where a horde of enemies come and attack you, I'm just going to recreate that. So I'm just going to quickly go over here and start away on the coding. Go over here to modules and start. This is going to be a very boring process, so for now I'm just going to skip and come back to you when I am done. Alright, so some time has passed and I have just been experimenting with this new game mode sort of like thing I have going on here. So basically what it is it's like it's a 1v1 fight between you and your enemy, and I would show you a much better job here, but unfortunately what happened was I got the parry dummy, which means that the only way he takes damage is from me parrying his attacks. Because if I attack him with, like, let's see, my light magic, if it hits, see that? All my attacks do no damage, so I have to parry until it dies. Okay, so welcome back. So what happened was that 2 a.m. Matsuji was too tired, so I came back today so I could properly explain what happened. So what I had actually done was record a video explaining everything about this gladiator arena, but I'm gonna have to redo that. I'm gonna redo that now. So let me explain it a bit better since I'm not as tired. So basically what happens is that this is a one fight between you and your opponent because due to the bug that makes it so that when you fight multiple enemies at once, it overloads the touch event. Uh, I've had to suffice with this for now. So what I've done is I made it so that the enemy gradually gets harder each time you kill it, and it gets more health as well as more damage every time you kill it. So as you see here, it's not going to take me any time at all. I'm just going to quickly kill it. Use a little bit of light magic in there, and then use some of my light attacks. It's gonna die very quickly, and oh no, we didn't get good luck. So the enemy that spawns is completely random. And if you're unlucky like me, you'll get the parry dummy almost immediately, which means that you can't actually attack it. Like what I explained in the first video was that since you can't hit the dummy because all damage gets parried, the only way you can actually kill it is by parrying its attacks right back at it. Because parrying does true. Oh no! No! What am I doing? Because parrying does true damage to your opponent. So it doesn't matter if they have their parry up or their block up. If they get parried by one of your attacks, they will take true damage. And I am not fighting this guy. In fact, I'm just gonna leave this arena. Oh, never mind, I don't even need to do that. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. That takes way too long. If I go to map, Colosseum, and then the enemies, and then parry dummy, and then go down to its health. Oh, I have to go down to so many things. And then I just set to 0. Alright, you can see that a new random enemy spawns with increased health as well as increased damage. So at first the enemies weren't really doing that much damage, but now as you see that they're doing a chunk of damage every time they attack, and they have ridiculous amounts of health. So you saw how quickly I was able to shred the first guy? This guy isn't getting shredded nearly as easily. It still doesn't take that long to kill it because light magic is really strong. And despite the fact that I haven't even implemented the fact that you can increase its stats. These are just the space stats of light magic, and it really does so much damage. So it just keeps doing this over and over again. I've done this so many times yesterday that I've kind of farmed myself out of it, but it keeps getting stronger. Its health increases. And that's what happens, the enemy gets randomized. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to create another enemy so that there's a bit more variety. So it's not just bandit, parry dummy, the first boss that's over there. I'm just going to create a new enemy, and I'm also going to create the last 2 skills of the light ability. I forgot to showcase one of the light's abilities last time, so I'm going to show it now. If you press G, you'll get this transformation. It doesn't do like an explosion or anything like that when you transform, it just does it as you see right here, which is pretty cool. So what this form is supposed to do is increases your light damage. I have not included that yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to code it so that it increases your light damage by 50%. I may change it depending on how much damage I'm going to make it so that the ult of the darkness does, but until then I'm going to try to code it so that it increases the damage of all your light moves by 50%. So I'm gonna do another coding montage, oh boy, of me doing the it's actually not the 3rd skill, it's actually the 4th and 5th skill. I need to stop making that mistake since I already have this skill, and then this skill. So it's actually the 4th and 5th skill that I have to code, and then I can work on dark magic. I already have the animation ready for the 1st skill, but I'm gonna save it as a surprise for like the next video when I do like dark magic. But until then, I will see you all in a bit. Okay, so I finally coded the last two skills of the light magic, and it took so long, it's not even funny. But I'm gonna showcase it to you here. I should really make it so you can teleport over there. Whatever, you're just gonna watch me go over there slowly. But basically, the skills are really powerful. So I'm gonna show you them here. So on this first dummy, we have the first skill I added, which is basically like the Gates of Babylon, bro. If I see it right here, it does a lot of damage if you hit all of them onto the target. If you miss, it won't do nearly as much damage. It has a 20-second cooldown, so it's alright. That's what I'm gonna show you here. Thankfully we didn't get the parry dummy. If we got the parry dummy, that would have sucked. And then we have the next skill, the Dying Star. It does a lot of damage. It doesn't look like that much since this dummy has 200 HP, but that attack did 50 damage by itself, which is a lot. And even though that is a lot, this Gates of Babylon move does so much damage. It's not even funny. But even on increased HP enemies, it still does like a decent chunk. So that's 50 damage. And then we get this Gates of Babylon move. And does so much. This dummy has like 300 HP right now. I just need you to understand that it has 300 HP. It has a ton. Like these skills do a ton of damage. It's not even funny, and we got the parry dummy. So I might as well show you how much damage it does on the parry dummy. Here's the Gates of Babylon. Yeah, it does a lot. But you have to be accurate with it though. If you don't hit, if the actual swords don't hit the dummy, then it won't do nearly as much damage. And then we have the Y skill. It does a lot. That Y skill actually does a lot. It used to do 100 before, so it just one-shot you. And I nerfed that hard to do only 50 damage, but even after the nerf, that's still a lot of damage. It's meant to be like an ultimate skill. Its cooldown is like 30 seconds. I might increase it because that is a lot of damage. Let me show you how much damage a T does on when it doesn't hit. It's supposed to do only like 35. Yeah, not nearly as much as when all of them actually hit the target. So you won't, usually you won't hit all of them on the target, but if you do, you will do some mad damage. And yeah, that's it for the showcase for now. Let me show you them on the enemies. These two enemies over here, Gates of Babylon. Yeah, look at that damage, absolutely insane. And then we can use the Y to finish them off. Lots of damage. I know how I said last time that multiple enemies causes the thing to get overloaded, but that's only if you go in for M1s, as I'm going to show you here. So you see I'm going for M1s, and now all of a sudden the M1s aren't registering and all sorts of stuff is happening. Okay, it's working now. A bit, kinda, not really. But if I go over here and use like a skill or something, they just get absolutely shredded. Oh, for a second there I thought I missed. So those are all the skills for now. E, the R, the T, I used that already, the Y, I used that already. And then we have the G. You have to make it so that the G buffs the damage by 50%. That's gonna make this disgusting now that I think about it. A 50% damage increase to all the light skills. That means that your Y move is gonna be doing like 75 damage. That's almost a one shot by itself. That's crazy. Aww. And I can't imagine that Gates of Babylon, how much damage that would do with 50% increase. But I'm gonna do that next time though. For now I'm gonna call it a day. I know I said I was gonna code an NPC, a new NPC, but it's already taking way too much time just to make those two skills. So I'm gonna call it wrap, and this shall be it for episode